Members say we love the alcohol, la 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all, la 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 la. But my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every mother must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody, welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Russ.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome back to the virtual nerd basement. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Tuesday before Christmas. So for everybody out there that is celebrating the lovely, Yuletide holidays, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you.
Happy Hanukkah, because that just started last night.
Correct.
Or 2 days ago now.
Yes.
Something like
Happy
that.
Hanukkah to all of our Jewish friends out there. And,
ACD.
ACD, good to see you.
Happy Yule to all the pagans out there, because that's tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Yourself included.
Oh, the chat box isn't coming.
So, hey, Renee, good to see you. It is a very cold Tuesday here in the Motor City. The temperatures are finally starting to show, over the last few days, starting to show, actual winter temps. And they're saying that we're going to probably have a particularly gnarly winter, like, kind of explosion in the next few days.
They're saying 5 to 8 inches right now on Friday.
Great. Googly moogly.
And then more. Well, that's from Thursday night into Saturday morning. We should get 5 to 8 inches. And Sunday, I think they're saying even we'll get another couple inches.
Shit. I don't want that, Chris. I don't. I do not want all that snow.
I do not like it.
Not like it, Sam. I am. All right. Well, it's Michigan, and that's what we do, man.
We've had a pretty mild winter so far. Well, I mean, technically, winter starts tomorrow, so we've had a pretty mild fall.
Correct.
So welcome to winter, as it comes in right when it's supposed to. I did get a new snowblower, so.
Well, that's good. I have a snowblower, but it's a really small one, and it's good for like dustings of snow, and like if you get like some snow and you get like maybe an inch or two, and if you get it, if you keep it up, you can, you gotta keep blowing it.
I would say I've got one if you want it. I'm just looking to get rid of it. My old one. It needs new paddles, but I guess that's pretty easy to fix.
I honestly, we don't have that much fucking. I got a driveway and a little bit of sidewalk. We don't have that much. I can shovel it if I need to.
You're getting old, man.
Shut up.
That's the thing. Renee's like, I want to get a new snowblower because I don't want you shoveling anymore.
Listen, Granddad.
And
I am a granddad. You are a granddad. It's probably a good idea.
I am the Brute Squad.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not in terrible shape, but it's a dangerous thing. They say that actually shoveling the snow is one of the like I don't know, higher risk activities, for heart attack.
Especially if it's like heavy wet snow, but a lot of times snowblowers don't like that either. So we'll see how this one does. It's one of the Ryobi electric snowblowers. So it's supposed to be really quiet, better for the environment, all that jazz.
All right.
And it's supposed to be able to go through like 12 inches of snow or something, or 13 inches of snow, and we'll see if it can do that. I'll be happy if it can get through the 5 this weekend.
Yeah,
if we even get that. They're saying they don't even know really where that storm's going to go. It may go south, it may go north.
I don't like it, man. I don't like it at all. Nah. I got very spoiled going down to Florida for years and years. So
yeah.
not a big fan.
So how was your week?
It's been, quiet. I've been just kind of, just kind of chilling. As you can see, the beard is coming in substantially. A lot of gray, a lot of gray. I went into work on Friday for a while, the studio, and it's funny because fuck all has been done. It's like, which I didn't expect. I mean, actually, they moved a bunch of tables out of the way. A bunch of things have been moved out of the way to make room for activities and stuff. And, it's like, can we turn our beds into bunk beds? We'll have so much more room for activities. So tables have been moved out of the way and shit. I tried to do some cleanup. Basically, one of the other artists needed to use the facility, and they need somebody to lock up. So
they had to use the facilities.
They had to use the facilities. I had to make some crap. And the building manager is also a ref, and he had some games to ref on Friday afternoon. So he asked me to close the place. So I did some cleaning up, and the funny thing is they had a brownout, and the heater got knocked out. The heat in the office, the main office, got basically fried, and so they had me hanging out there while they waited for a guy to come in and clean and try and fix it. And the electrical guy couldn't fix it, so they had to call a furnace guy, and the furnace guy's like, well, I got it started, but it'll probably crap out before the weekend's out, so I'm gonna order some parts. It was just like, I did not sign up for this. This is not my why isn't this is not my job? But it was still like, I just kind of did my duty, did my due diligence there. But I did also give us a little gift card. I tried to activate it and couldn't because I don't have the zip code that it was purchased in. So now I gotta ask the boss where the zip code was. But the nice thing was, okay, little story. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I was down on the route, and I ran into some of the CEOs, the upper, not the CEO, but the upper people for Pet Supplies Plus, because we made a float for Pet Supplies Plus, and I had met them when they came to look at the float and everything. And this one woman, she was like one of the vice presidents or whatever. And we were chatting, and I was like, yeah, I had a great time making this float. We all enjoyed making this float. We got to make a lot of animals. We always like to make animals. And I said, I got a 75-pound German Shepherd, and it was just really great. I wanted to make my dog into one of the characters on the float, but I didn't end up painting him to look like that. And she goes, oh, you know what? I'm going to send you a gift basket. I'm like, what? She goes like, yeah, I'm going to send you a gift basket for you and your dog. And I went, well, thank you. I wasn't fishing for a gift or anything. She's like, no, it's great. No, it's no problem. I'm going to send you like a little something to the parade company. I'm like, okay, cool. And I didn't think about it again. And then the boss texts me yesterday, and he's like, hey, if you guys want, there's a gift card here for you. And Russ, there's a package here, a FedEx from Pet Supplies Plus for you, and it's addressed to you in Dresden. And I went, all right. So I went, and I was like, well, I'll swing in and I'll get the card and I'll get this thing. And I was expecting, like a package. No, it was an envelope. And I open up the, FedEx envelope, and it's a gift card at Pet Supplies Plus for $250.
Holy shit.
I know, right? I was like, Jesus. And I'm just saying, damn. And now I got to contact Emily at Pet Supplies Plus and, thank the hell out of her. I don't know, like eat her ass or something. I mean, $250. Like, holy shit.
Dresden can get himself a nice new dog bed for that.
Dude, that's literally like 4 months of food.
I was gonna say that's like what, like 2 weeks of food?
No, that's like no, we get like a $60 bag of food. It lasts, between 3 and 4 weeks, and and so it's at least 3 to 4 months worth of dog
filet mignon kibble.
We buy the better dog food, I will admit. So
well, no, that's what CD's saying is you can get the fancy dog food now, the filet mignon kibble.
with all the fancy ketchups. So
Dijon
yeah,
ketchup.
Dijon ketchups. So yeah, so I was just like, holy crap, Pet Supplies Plus, man. The funny thing is, we used to go. We really kind of go to Petco more often because there's a Petco real close to us now. Go to Pet Supplies Plus. So there's that. I've been playing. I started a new video game. I'm playing. Got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We can talk about that a little bit later in the game or in the show. Yeah, it's just kind of just chilling out, ready, getting. I'll probably won't be going in regularly to work until there's my lightsaber. Until probably end of January. I think I'll probably go in like maybe spend a day per week here and there, just maybe go in, try to do some more cleanups and stuff, but there's not a whole lot for me to do just yet.
Yeah.
So
cool.
How about you? How was your week?
Busy. I mean, as it has been. I had to work late on Friday to a new vulnerability had come out for that FortiGate found, and so I patched all that. Got that all up to date, and then Sunday was curling. Monday I had to go to Cleveland, just for the day. So
Cleveland.
Yeah, we're doing an office move, so I had to go. I went down to meet the guys that are installing our circuit and take a look at the office space. And I'm glad I went because I found that. So I do a wiring plan, and I say, here's where we want the wires, and it's kind of given a ballpark, but I like put them right in the middle of the wall in the offices, so that they can be easily accessed to get the wires to the network cables to the computers and stuff. I went in, and they're all in the back corner, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. That's going to be completely covered with heavy furniture. There is no way we're going to get to the cables back there.
Okay.
So the architect was there, and he's like, "Yeah, you're right. That is not where those are supposed to be." We had to get the general contractor and have him move all of the mark on the wall where all of they had to move both the electrical and data boxes over. Luckily, the data wires haven't been run yet, but the electrical has. So they're going to have to rerun at least some of the electrical over a couple of about 4 feet in every case.
Okay, drag.
Yeah, but hey, not my problem. They put them in the wrong spot.
Right on.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's been work, curling, holiday stuff.
Right on. Little thing here. I went to a rehearsal for this the play I've been doing, and we sold out. We opened a third show. Oh. And we've almost sold out of the third show as well.
Oh, I know you had sold out the first show you said before.
We sold out the first one.
And almost sold out the second.
And we've more or less sold out the second as well. And I think there might be like a couple of single seats left. And we opened up a third show, and within a day we had sold 75 tickets. It was like, holy shit, we're contemplating a fourth show. The problem is the only way we could do that is we'd have to do a matinee on one of the other days because we can't go into May. And we're doing a show at the end of March, the March 26th. Then we're doing the following Sunday. Then we have to skip a week because of Easter, and then we're doing another day. And then two of our cast members aren't available the following Sunday. So the only way we could do it is if we do like a matinee on the third day. And we're just like, holy crap. So we're contemplating doing that, but it would be a risk, because we think we might be about tapped, So it's just but holy shit. I mean, it's really incredible considering the last show, the previous show in October, we had to kind of scramble to get enough seats sold. And so we're just blowing our minds. It's blowing our fucking minds. It's great, but it's blowing our fucking minds.
That's cool.
But I wanted to get that out before.
Okay. Well, what are you drinking?
Tonight, I am drinking an Angry Orchard strawberry. I think I've had
Strawberry.
this before on the show, but I wanted to give it another try. It's pretty good. Um, it's sweeter, it being a strawberry cider. It says strawberry, but it almost feels like it's more of a strawberry rhubarb because it's got that little bit of a bite, like kind of that rhubarby bite kind of bite. But it doesn't say strawberry rhubarb, so that's what it feels like. But I like it. It's not it's good. It's I strawberry is one of my favorite things. I love strawberry almost everything. So it's nice. Like I said, and it's Angry Orchard, so it's fairly readily available. I don't think it's a seasonal thing. I think it's just in their thing now. So if you like a bit of a bit of a sweeter kind of a sweeter cider, this one is definitely a go-to. So check it out, Angry Orchard Strawberry.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what about you?
I am drinking it's a beer I found at I think it was Meyer, and went, oh, I need to try this. Just because of the name. It's from Brewdog, which is a brewery that I actually have had some other things from. They've been pretty good. But it's Fellowship IPA, The Lord of the Rings.
God.
It actually, and it's got like on the one side, it's a hazy IPA, and it's actually got like Sting on there, and stuff. So, it is 5% ABV.
Oh, really?
And it is definitely a very hazy, pale IPA. It's very pale yellow, way more so than a lot of them. It has some fruity aromas, and I'm gonna take another sip here because I've only had a couple. And it definitely has a lot of citrus. It's more of a lemony than like the orange that you get a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's actually kind of light and a little it's kind of refreshing. It's not overly bam, like a lot like some of the hazies can be with the hop flavor, especially when it's a fruity hop flavor. It's not like that. It's actually kind of mellow. Not bad at all. I'd say this is probably about. There's nothing super special about it. It's not like it's super great, but it is light and refreshing and just kind of a good tasting beer. So I'd say it's probably about a 3.5 bottle caps is what I'd give it. I mean, it's something I would drink. Doesn't have any down notes or anything like that, but nothing that makes me go, oh yeah, I gotta have that. I also picked up another beer tonight that I will probably be reviewing. Well, two other beers that I'll be reviewing over the next couple of weeks. One is a Christmas ale, a Christmas porter from Three Floyds, and the other one is a specialty beer that I think I might have done one before on the show from a couple of years ago, but it's an imperial stout from Surly Brewing called Darkness. And I bought it strictly because the box that the can comes in, it's a single can, comes in a box that just fucking looks cool as hell. I mean, to the point where I kind of want to cut the back of it and open it up and just frame it because it's such a cool picture.
Very cool.
Yeah, Christmas ales, they can be kind of iffy. I actually went to Total Wine tonight looking for two different things. I went. New Holland has a new canned mixed drink. It's a cranberry vodka mix. I went looking for that and can't find that anywhere. I don't know if they're just releasing it in their tap rooms or what, but I can't find it anywhere. It wasn't at Total Wine. And I was looking for the beer that I think it was Pete brought last time for gaming. The last time we gamed, and that was the French Toast Bastard. That was absolutely spectacular, and they didn't have that either. So I was really disappointed in my trip. I got Renee the gin that she wanted, and I got a couple of beers, but overall it was a disappointing trip. But because it was disappointing, it was also a much cheaper trip than it usually is when I go to Total Wine.
for sure.
Let's see, what's CD drinking? He's Sweet Repute from Founders. Wheat wine ale with maple syrup aged in bourbon barrels, 12.8%. Complex, good. I don't know that I've even heard of that one, CD. I usually hear about just about everything from Founders. Huh. Founders is good stuff. Yeah, it is. Founders and Bells are both solid with a lot of their stuff. All right, so what do you want to start with?
Yeah.
I got a little thing about Netflix that I didn't know.
What's that?
There's a new movie coming to Netflix in 2 days. I think it is. I think it's 22nd. It's called Treason, and it's Charlie Cox
Okay.
playing a MI6 agent who winds up becoming the youngest head of MI6 ever, and he's compromised, and there's a group that's trying to get him to commit treason, basically, and it's that spy thriller type movie. It's almost like it kind of looked like a James Bond meets Taken, because it looks like his daughter gets kidnapped at one point, and of course he threatens them.
Charlie Cox from
Daredevil.
Always Sunny?
No.
Oh, from Daredevil. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking the wrong dude. All right.
I'm like, I will check it out.
Yeah.
He actually gets to talk in his normal accent, with the normal way he talks, because he is British. But speaking of Always Sunny, Renee and I actually started Welcome to Wrexham, which is the Bill McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds thing where they buy a soccer team.
Sort of their documentary about how they're
Yeah, we started watching that. It's actually really interesting. I mean, both of us love soccer and English soccer to begin with, so it's really kind of an interesting thing. And seeing, like, as they're talking to the people in the town, and they're talking with the two of them. The two of them had never even Renee, wait, what? Charlie Cox is British? Yeah, he's British.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, I guess. So but I will I have very little interest in soccer, but I have heard that that the Welcome to Wrexham thing is actually pretty cool, and I mean, it's got Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he's going to be entertaining no matter what.
Well, and that's the thing. So you can see that he is definitely someone who is always on. As you see him talking and things like that, he is always on. He's always making jokes. He's always trying to be the funny guy. I like him. I don't know if I could handle him on a regular basis. Why do Brits play Americans better than Americans?
Because they do it with a modicum of panache.
Oh, and CD, that's going to be on Netflix. Is what that movie's going to be on. Treason. I believe it start. I think I just saw the trailer for it on YouTube, and I think it said it was December 22nd. Speaking of spy stuff, Jack Ryan starts tomorrow.
I haven't watched any of those. It's Krasinski?
Yeah,
I haven't watched any of those, but I hear they're a lot of fun.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I love it. I'm so happy that it's coming back. It feels like it's been forever since the second season ended, but I think that's because I went through it so fast. It is a really good show, and I like him and Ryan.
It's on my list. It's on my list to watch. I just haven't had a chance.
I'm finally starting to catch up on my list. Renee and I finished Orville finally.
Oh, yeah.
We finished Rings of Power.
Still haven't finished. I still haven't started that.
We just started Willow. We've only gotten 1 episode into that so far.
I've heard some negative reviews about Willow, and it's kind of just depressing me a little bit.
Well, one of the things I was surprised to see is that one of the main characters is the guy that plays Flash Thompson in the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, the newer one.
Yeah.
Because actually, if you go back to the original trilogy, the original Sam Raimi trilogy, it was Joe Manganiello played Flash Thompson. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the guy that plays Flash. He's playing a prince.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, one of my friends said watched it. It says it's all over the place. Like the first episode was fun, but then as you progress into the show, it just kind of it's all over the place. There's very little like cohesion. I don't know. I'm still gonna watch it, but unfortunately, it's one of those things they're saying Disney may have missed the mark.
Yeah, CD said it's poor editing in the 2 episodes he's watched.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too.
But I also want to. The other one we're going to be starting real soon is Wednesday, which I've been hearing really good things about.
Yeah, I really want to watch this, but I just haven't. I'm watching like 4 other shows right now, and I'm trying to finish them up. And and problem is I'm kind of at the mercy of Stella sometimes too, because like I'm gonna have to just start watching them without her. Some of these things because. I like there's certain things that I was like, yeah, I'd like to watch this with Stella, but she's just like, well, she gets in these modes where she just wants to watch like one thing, or she wants to like, I don't know, she it's driving me a little crazy. Like we've been trying to get caught up on Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and so we're a season behind on that one, and I'm like, well, that show ain't going anywhere. I just kind of want to. We can, yeah, and then we want to try and stay current on a couple of shows like The Rookie and whatnot, but I don't know. It's just I don't like to binge on one thing only. I mean,
yeah, that's the way I am. I can watch a couple episodes of a show, but then I got to switch to something else if I'm
and that's why it's like I'm having a tough time getting caught up on the Arrowverse, because I'll watch a half a dozen episodes and then I'm like, need a little break and I'm gonna go watch something else. And so
it only takes so much angsty Arrow.
Oh, the only one I have left is the final episodes of Arrow, that final season, I think, because I'm watching them. I'm trying to watch them in order and watch the seasons of each individual show, too. So I'm not like watching just nothing but Arrow because they tie in, they've got crossovers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get into a few other things, but I'm gonna have to push her to like finish things. I'm just gonna watch Rings of Power on my own, I think, and a couple other things. We do have just as a reminder, Critical Role season 2 will be coming to us in mid-January.
Yep.
So that's coming up in just a couple of weeks. Critical Role, The Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon, the animated series, looking really great. So
season 2, the Chroma Conclave.
Yeah. Oh man, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So shall we move on?
Sure.
All right. Here's a little something. Was just released. The word of it was just released the other day. Now we do have Wizards of the Coast released a new Dragonlance hardcover. Like I don't know, like 2-3 weeks ago. I believe Chris, you got it. It is the what was it called again?
It is Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen.
Great.
And I got the alternative cover.
Great. It's really fucking cool. Lord Soth on the cover there.
Yep.
They did also just announce that they will be putting out a Dragonlance companion. It is from this is excuse me. This is not officially from I still have a tough time. I always still say
WOTC.
Yeah, WOTC. It's not from Wizards of the Coast. This is from Dungeon Masters Guild.
Okay, so yeah, that means it's community content.
Yeah, and it is so it may not necessarily be official, but it will be written to 5th edition.
We're gonna talk about some of that stuff later too.
Okay. The PDF is available for $20. Hardcover and standard color book for $44.99. PDF plus hardcover for $64.98. If you buy it through the website, though, it is on sale. $38.99, $39 for the hardcover. It says it's going to have it's the platinum authors of platinum selling Feywild Companion and Fizzband's Vault of Draconic Secrets bring you a 180-page book over 6 months in the making. 3 classic races, including 3 sub-races, 13 subclasses, including 1 for each class, 2 backgrounds with 7 feats, 19 spells, 16 magic items, 6 legacy items that evolve based on your actions, 100 trinkets, 9 monsters and 44 stat blocks, 21 deities with piety and herald items that improve with piety, 2 adventures, 2 encounters, 70 adventure hooks, time travel options. So it looks like it is a bunch of stuff taken from, like, say, the classic Dragonlance. Probably been I would say it's probably been approved by Wizards of the Coast, but it's not.
I doubt it. I very much doubt it. If it's DM's Guild, it is just player. It is just community content. That's something that somebody created and is now selling it. It is not official. It is not approved by Wizards. It is.
That's the thing, man.
It's part of the OGL, the Open Game License. That is. So this is something I want to talk about. So one of the things that I sent you an article on this, on that D&D had basically like a shareholders meeting type of thing, where the CEO of Hasbro and the CEO of Wizards of the Coast got on this call, and basically we're trying to rah and stir everybody up about, here's how good we're gonna do in the future. And one of the big things that came out of it that everyone's kind of glomming onto is one of the things that Cynthia Williams, who's the CEO of Wizards of the Coast, said is D&D has never been more popular, and we have really great fans and engagement. Williams began, but the brand is really under monetized. Means they ain't making enough money on it because you only buy the books once.
We got to remember, Hasbro is the parent company of all of them.
Oh yeah, Hasbro can burn in a fucking fire. I don't care.
Don't hold back, Chris. Tell us how you really feel.
No, dude, this is my show. I get to say what I want. But no, that's the thing. I think I was talking with somebody and they were saying that they think Hasbro is trying to destroy D&D. And I don't think they're trying to destroy D&D. They're trying to change D&D because corporate greed is king. And that's all they fucking care about is the almighty dollar. They don't care about, and they even talk about that in this article, in that really what they want to do is basically they want to take D&D and make it, they want to make D&D Beyond into something that is, as they put it, a better on-ramp for new players to come in and spend money. And they're basically trying to, what they want to do is they want to make it more like some of the video games that are out there, like Minecraft or what were the other ones they were comparing it to? Anyway, where you basically just are constantly buying little things. It's microtransactions, basically, is what they want to start doing. And that's what I'm afraid that D&D Beyond is going to become. Now, one of the other things that they're bitching about is that, or they're saying is that, while Dungeon Masters comprise roughly 20% of the D&D player base, they make up the largest share of paying players. Because they're the ones that are going to pay for all the stuff, and the players just share what the DMs have. So I'm actually concerned that they're going to start stopping the book sharing on D&D Beyond, which is, to me, going to kill D&D Beyond. It's going to make it worthless.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the whole thing. I'm like, if I have the books, I shouldn't have to buy them and then have you buy them too, just so that you can use them for your characters.
Right, correct. I mean, it was a great marketing campaign. Yeah. It was a great marketing idea. It's like one person can buy the book and share them among their players. I mean, it's a great fucking idea.
Or you can share the book with our campaign, because like the Sword Coast Adventures, I think you're the one that actually bought that one. And you shared it with the campaign so that everyone in the campaign has access to it.
Right.
But yeah, they said they want to unlock the type of recurrent spending you see in digital games. They also, the other thing that they want to do is they want to turn D&D into a 4-quadrant brand. And what they compare it to is Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. So
quadrant brand.
Yeah.
So movies, television, games,
books.
books.
It's tabletop game and book releases, which they already have. And then the other 3 are entertainment, such as the upcoming Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, big AAA video games akin to Baldur's Gate 3, and expanded line of toys. So those are the others that they want to get into. Movies, TV, and TV. They're talking about that what they really want is, and they're saying that the new Honor Among Thieves movie is going to be the linchpin in this whole plan. And so if it doesn't do well, they're going to be fucked.
Oh yeah.
But what they want is what I think they're hoping is that they can launch a Marvel-esque universe off of this movie, where they're going to have TV shows and more movies and toys and games and things like that they can put out.
Well, I think it's entirely possible. You know, I mean, if this movie is successful, Dungeons and Dragons has enough content that they could easily make TV shows and movies out of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have enough different worlds and different kinds of things. They could make a Dragonlance series.
I think the only thing that they would do is they would stick with Forgotten Realms, I think, because that seems to be the only one they care about anymore.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. They have put out a new Dragonlance content. They've put out Spelljammer. I know. But they've put out Spelljammer as well. They put out quite a bit about that. So my guess is, yeah, they'll stick to Forgotten Realms, but conceptually, they could also do a Dragonlance show. They could do video games, for Spelljammer. They could conceivably bring back Dark Sun and, various other things. It would probably be smart of them to maybe stick to one for now. Start with the Forgotten Realms and kind of build that up, and then bring in something like Dragonlance later, or bring in, whatever else they want.
I want Greyhawk, but that'll never happen. They're never even going to bring that back. There were all the rumors that they were going to do it, and I don't think that's ever coming back.
Probably not. I mean, I'd be hard pressed to tell you exactly what kind of major difference there was between Greyhawk and Forgotten Realms. They're both fairly standard fantasy realms. Dragonlance had at least some very distinctive, different, it had a very different kind of god setup with their clerics and the way the magic system was
on that one continent.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is that on one continent, divine magic pretty much became extinct. On the other continent, arcane magic did. And Ancelot. On the other continent, arcane magic became extinct because they basically ran all the mages out because there was a great arcane apocalypse, basically.
Okay. So, I mean, I didn't know as much about the other continent, but
I only know it because that's where we're playing in the one game that I'm playing in.
Okay. But that's the thing. It's a Dragonlance does definitely have some distinct differences from Forgotten Realms, but from what I've been able to, what I remember, Greyhawk and Forgotten Realms really not that much distinctly different.
All 3 of them are high magic realms. That's
sure. So we've got, I mean, I think it would probably be a good idea to not to confuse people too much by spreading out the brand too dramatically.
And Honor Among Thieves is obviously in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, that's been evident. I think it's going to be a good movie, or I think at the very least it's going to be a successful movie. I just hope it's not. I just don't want it to be a shit movie. I just want it to be. I want it to be a solid. It doesn't have to be Shakespeare. It doesn't have to be an Oscar winner. But I just want it to be a good start.
Yeah, and my thing is that I think it's going to be popular. I think it's going to be good. But my concern is that the reason it's going to do well and the reason that it's going to be good isn't necessarily because of the film itself, but because of the actors that are in the film. And I don't know how much they're going to be willing to pay to keep getting these higher tier actors in there to be in the movies.
Well, it's not like Wizards of the Coast has put this out on their own, you know. I mean, they do have a major studio attached to it, so
right. But the thing is it's if you look at the success rate of Dungeons and Dragons movies, I'm amazed that they got the names they did, or were willing to spend the money on the names that they did. They are pretty much they're pulling out all the stops to try and make this successful. And I think if it is successful, we'll probably see more. If it is not, then I think this is going to be it for movies. I don't think we'll see another one within the next decade.
It's entirely possible. If this one tanks, it's going to hurt the idea of having, it's gonna hurt the idea of having, Dungeons and Dragons based movies for quite a long time.
Hey, Ghost Hand, haven't seen you in a while. Ghost Hand just said, I wonder if they will joke about the atrocious 2000s film. God. I think that would be hilarious if they do.
If they made some kind of comment,
comment about somebody named Snails or something like that.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the guys writing the movie are serious D&D fans. I mean, what's the guy's name? I can't remember his name right now. He was the youngest kid on Freaks and Geeks, and he was Sweets on Bones for years. He's one of the main writers, and he is a huge D&D nerd. He's the one that's been fighting to get this movie made for a long time. He, in fact, everybody involved, the director, all the writers are big D&D fans. I don't know so much about the actors. I don't know if Chris Pine was a D&D guy, or I don't think Hugh Grant was either. But I wouldn't be surprised if Michelle Rodriguez has played D&D once or twice. I mean, she was known to be in the Fast and Furious movies, and we all know good old
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel is a big D&D guy.
Well, yeah, he is, except that you talk to like Joe Manganiello, and he's like, yeah, he says he is, but I've never played with him, and I haven't met anyone that's played with him, and I know just about every D&D player in Hollywood.
Which is saying something, because there's quite a few apparently. Ghost Hand, nice to see you.
It's kind of wild as well, since the D&D cartoon was fantastic.
Speaking of the D&D cartoon, I just had an article here from IDW, the comic book company IDW.
D&D cartoon.
Yeah, there you go. IDW conjures Saturday morning memories, new Dungeons and Dragons series. Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures tells the story of a lost episode of the animated series. If any time between the years 83 to 85, you woke up on Saturday morning and flipped to your local CBS affiliate to catch the animated Dungeons and Dragons, based on the legendary role-playing game, IDW has your back. Publishers returning to the world of Saturday morning cartoon series for the appropriately titled Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures, a 4-issue limited series launching in March to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the cult favorite show. Series ran for 27 episodes over 3 seasons, and fans might not immediately recall it was a co-production of TSR, Japanese Toei Animation, and Marvel Productions.
I own it.
Series, I actually have a bootleg. I think I've showed it. I have a bootleg copy.
I have the official DVDs.
Yeah.
I started watching it though, and man, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy that it's like, oh my god.
Almost all the cartoons from that era were cheesy, man.
Oh, I know.
I know,
but I'm like, I remember just loving that cartoon so much, and now I watch it and I'm like, man, the cheese factor is so high on this I'm like, it's almost painful to watch.
Yeah. Yep.
And Dungeon Master is the most evil motherfucker on the planet. I don't care what they say about Venger being evil. Dungeon Master throws a bunch of first-level characters, gives each of them one magic item, not even weapons, except for 2 of them, and well, 3 if you count the staff. But
the bow, the shield, and the staff.
No, not the shield. The
The
club,
bow, the club,
and
the staff.
bow, or the bow,
Yeah,
the club, and the staff.
And the staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because really, Presto's hat really wasn't a
Nah.
weapon either.
I mean, I'd argue the shield was a weapon, I suppose.
He never used it as a weapon. It was a protection thing. He could cast a force field. And then Sheila had the cloak of invisibility, but damn.
Right.
But I mean, and then he throws him right against Tiamat.
I will admit that the writers didn't know what the fuck they were doing. You got to figure, like, somebody that had played D&D went, hey, this would make a cool cartoon. And then they went, and then they pitched it, and the people that accepted the pitch went, yeah, okay, we can work with this. And then, you know, they looked at, yeah, okay, we can fuck shit up, and they did. And they threw in the occasional recognizable character and or monster, and wrote a story about 6 kids that fell through a dimensional aperture. So, I don't know, but this could be cute. This could be a cute little miniseries. 4 issues goes on sale in March.
Okay,
starts in
Ghost Hand said it was immense in Brazil. People didn't even know what the tabletop was there. It only became more mainstream in the last 10 years there. He said, if we want a trip, look up the car commercial with the Dungeons and Dragons. That's Brazilian made.
That's where the car commercial came from. Yeah, from Brazil.
And I watched that. I'm like, make a live action TV show with that, because that looked awesome. I mean,
people flipped the fuck out because of that. They're like, oh my God, what is this? And then it turns out it was just a car commercial, you know, and you're like, ah, shit. Yeah. So that's interesting. So, yeah. All right. So Dungeons and Dragons is a IP. It's an intellectual property that we love, that we adore. And the company, Wizards of the Coast, and the parent company Hasbro, has every right to try and make money from it. The question is, can they do it, you know, ethically? Can they do it with? And that's really the question. Now, this movie is a first step in brand in selling that brand. I hope it's going to do well. I got a bad feeling, mainly because Dungeons and Dragons movies and shows have consistently kind of screwed the pooch. I mean, that first D&D movie back in 2000 was literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It was one of the few times I've almost walked out of a film. And every other movie that was made after that they tried to brand kind of, there are a few like D&D, there were fantasy movies, low budget fantasy movies that sometimes people tried to attach a Dungeons and Dragons branding onto it that went direct to DVD or went direct to like the Sci-Fi Channel or something like that. And the Sci-Fi Channel was infamous for showing very low budget sci-fi movies. I really have every hope and dream that this is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a little wary. Now it does look like it's got a big budget. The special effects look good. There's recognizable Dungeons and Dragons like spells, recognizable Dungeons and Dragons characters and creatures. I'm like, okay, let's this and a writing and directing team that
loves the game,
is passionate about it.
Yeah.
So here's hoping.
Yeah.
And this could very well be the beginning. But I think you're right. If it tanks, we're fucked. We'll still be able to. They'll still be putting out D&D books, and the game won't be hurt. I don't think the game will be hurt. But any other further,
at least not any more hurt than what they're doing with 1D&D as it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll see problems with that way, but Yeah.
But yeah,
Any other
so
further branding
yes,
would be hurt.
so the last part of this article, I'm just going to read this last paragraph because I think it's also interesting because it does kind of sum up everything that they're talking about with this. And it's that keep in mind that this meeting was largely meant to answer investor questions and gas them up for the future. But at any players expecting Wizards of the Coast to see the light and move towards investing more resources in the game design portion of their game will very likely be disappointed in the next 5 years. Dungeons and Dragons is now a lifestyle brand with tabletop as a single cog in the money printing machine. And I think that's where it's going to be a problem, is that if they don't continue to invest in the game itself and making the game not necessarily better, but putting new content out for the game, I think that's where
I would say that's accurate.
They're going to start losing people because that's where it comes from. I understand they want to make money in other areas, but you have to keep the base going, and the base in this case is the tabletop game.
Correct. I mean, and yeah, you're absolutely correct. It is, that's the danger right there. I mean, that's one of the things that caused people to leave D&D and seek out other games like Wizard, like White Wolf, like the Vampire the Masquerade games, or Champions,
Pathfinder.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing. If they stop putting money into the tabletop and developing it, you're going to see a lot of people drop D&D and go to Pathfinder.
Right. So, or at the very least, they're going to slow down a great deal on buying the things, buying the resources.
So one of the other things that I was seeing is that there's also talk that along with moving towards one D&D and all of that, one of the other things that they're talking about doing is doing away with the OGL, which is the open game license, which allows content to be created by community members, and actually it's in some cases they can even sell it on places like DM's Guild, RPG Drive Through, those types of places. They're talking that they are going to get rid of that, and it will the only stuff that can be put out are by licensed writers. You'll have to get licensed by Wizards of the Coast to be able to actually sell anything that the community develops.
I think that is potentially a bad idea. If they get rid of that, see, I mean, I get it. I understand it. It is their, but it's their possession. It is their.
But they've had the open game license for like 20 plus years now.
Right. I mean, yeah, it is the difficult part, you know. As a creator, as an artist, you know, I get it, but at the same time, yeah, I think ultimately other companies just being able to just create stuff for fifth edition ultimately helps the game more than anything else.
I think so too.
You know, I could see like maybe like having a very limited licensing, like give us 10%, you know, that kind of thing.
Well, I think they do get a percentage of what DM's Guild sells, and the actual author,
Kobold Press, or you know, some of these other companies.
Yeah, I know that on DM's Guild, from what I've heard, the author actually gets well less than 50% of what is out there. They only get like 20 or 30% per sale, if even that much. Most of it goes to DM's Guild, and I think they have to pay Wizards.
But, all right. Well, I don't know, man. Either way, we're going to be seeing a lot of Uni. What CD just put something in the
Oh yeah, it's the live action commercial.
Oh, motherfuck, that's awesome. So we're definitely gonna see some big changes, I think, in the next coming up in the next couple of years.
I'm just so tired of corporate greed and just greed in general in the US. That's all it is here, is just greed, 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 greed. And you can never have, even when you have more money than you or the next 10 generations of your family can spend, yeah, that's still not enough money.
I know, man.
I'm
You're right. I mean, people are ridiculously greedy, and it's one of those things where we got to try and like fight against it. Try to anyway. I don't know if
yeah.
I don't know what we can and how we can do it, but we got to try.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It's like people don't need as much as they think they do. I mean, hell, I'm an example. I mean, look at all this shit behind me. We are. I may not be greedy with money, but I like my stuff.
Yeah. Well, I like my stuff too, but you know what? If me paying a little bit more in taxes means that everyone gets health care, okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
Because one, that's going to help me too, and that's the biggest bitch that people have is. I was talking about this with some of the guys at the curling club, and we were like, I'm like, I believe in universal health care. I believe in college for all. Am I gonna? Will I benefit from that one? No. Am I willing to put into it? Yes. Because it's not gonna help me. It'll help my granddaughter if she doesn't have to worry about saving for college, because college is ridiculous.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And we're the only first world nation without universal health care of some kind.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
And everyone
absolutely fucking ridiculous.
And everyone that says, "Oh, well, you'll always be waiting to have surgery," and that's why Canadians come here. I'm like, no, that's for the reason that Canadians come to the U.S. is for elective surgeries.
Correct.
Because yes, you have to wait for elective surgeries because they're using all the regular surgery times to save people's lives.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. I mean, and so many people wind up bankrupt, especially if they get cancer or something like that. They wind up bankrupt here in the U.S.
Yep.
No one should have to choose between being able to afford their house and being able to stay alive. That's just not something that anyone should have to do. I mean, look at Steve over in Ireland.
Yeah.
He had kidney cancer. Here in the U.S.
Yeah, he lost a kidney, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost a kidney.
Yeah.
But he's now, I believe, completely cancer-free. They actually got all of it.
That's awesome.
But he was off work for 6 months, and he got paid. He's not bankrupt because he had surgery. He had cancer.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Whereas here, he'd probably be lucky to have a house right now.
Absolutely. Or he'd be doing something like, crowdfunding it or something like so many people are doing.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that people that say, "Oh, I don't want my taxes going up." Well, okay, think about it. It means you don't have to pay for insurance anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can still pay for insurance if you want to, but you don't have to. And it's just, they've shown where it would cost you less in taxes than it would on what people pay in premiums.
Well, it's a socialistic kind of thing. A lot of people, they're scared of that shit.
It's not socialism, though. It's just helping your fellow man.
It's still socialism, Chris. It's still yes, and
so
I agree.
Social Security.
Right, exactly. So Social Security. So there's a lot of socialistic programs that we have in our system that people don't even recognize as socialism because it's so ingrained into us. But yeah, it's just people are scared of that kind of shit. I'm full support of universal health care. I want it, please. I spent the majority of my adult life without health care, without health insurance at the very least. I had health care, but without health insurance. Thankfully, when I was working in the bar industry, I was able to afford it. But even if or I was able to afford, the occasional trip to the doctor. But if I had gotten sick or if I had had to have some major surgery,
Break a limb,
I would
anything.
have been fucked. And so many people I knew that in that industry were in the same boat. When Obamacare came into effect, and I jumped at it, and I was able to get at least some coverage,
Mm-hmm.
So like if I had to have some kind of, if I got sick or if I had to have some kind of emergency surgery, I wouldn't lose my house, but it would have been very difficult. Now I'm thankfully the job I have now, I have a pretty decent healthcare. But I mean, it's some scary shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we need to fix this stuff. Otherwise, the simplest thing
Yep.
can put you underwater. It's
Yep.
crazy.
But all right, I'm going to step off of my political soapbox now,
It's
and
okay.
we'll get back to the nerd stuff.
Let's soften it up a little bit. I'll find a little something
Well,
here.
I've got something. I saw
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer for Jedi Survivor?
Yes, I have.
That
Jed,
looks badass.
Wait a minute, Jedi. Oh, the new show.
No, the new game.
The new game. Yeah, that's the sequel to Fallen Order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does look pretty good. I haven't played Fallen Order. I actually have it sitting right here on my desktop. I got it free from Amazon Prime Gaming. And I just haven't played it. I heard some negative things, basically that it wasn't all that great, but it wasn't bad. I heard it wasn't bad, but I just heard a few negative things about it. So I figured, I'll wait then. I'll wait.
I enjoyed it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. The thing that always frustrated me was the thing that I've talked about before on here about that and other games, is that it's one of those games where if you die, you don't pick up from necessarily even close to that. You may go back 10 minutes in the game and have to do everything that you've done up to that point again.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that just gets overly frustrating when you hit a spot that you find difficult and you don't get the chance to go right back to it and try something else. You have to go through everything else and then get back to that point just to die again and go back 10 minutes.
Fair enough. That's always annoyed the shit out of me too. You should have a decent save point kind of situation when it comes to games. But the thing is if I remember correctly, that's kind of been the way it is with a lot of Star Wars games. If you played the old Force Unleashed games, that was a similar kind of thing. Like if you died, man, you quite likely could have had to go to the very beginning of the fucking level again.
I remember playing that a little, and I remember getting frustrated with that one too. I never finished it.
I finished them both. I played the first.
I heard the second one was really short and wasn't very good.
It was short. It was for a game that would have considered a full AAA game. It was a very short game, if I remember correctly. It was disappointing. Man, fucking shoulder, fucking me.
What else you got? Because I got a bunch of lists that we can go through. I figure we could it's end of the year, it's holiday time. We can do some lists.
Sure.
Because everybody's putting out the best of 2022 stuff.
Well, let me see. I got a bunch of various comic booky type of things. All right. Well, one thing that we did that was talked about. So James Gunn is the new guru for the DC cinematic universe. James Gunn and
he is the Kevin Feige.
He is the new Kevin Feige. Now, the two of them have recently announced over the week that unfortunately they have pretty much shit canned the majority of DC property stuff that was tied to the Snyderverse. So we have seen the end of they pretty much shit canned Wonder Woman 3. Which from what I was understanding was probably a good idea because Patty Jenkins, the director, also backed away. She was like, nope, I'm backing away anyways. Now, Aquaman 2 is still being put out, and The Flash
I'm hearing
is also being put out, but they have said that several cameos have been cut out of The Flash, such as probably Henry Cavill's Superman.
I heard that Aquaman is like way over budget.
Yeah, because they've had to do some reshooting, and they've had to
Mm-hmm.
do, because they ended up removing Amber Heard too. So but the Flash has been testing very well apparently, but they are still a little worried about, Ezra Miller and their fucking craziness. Thankfully, Ezra Miller has been out of the media for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
and out of the light of the media, and has started, apparently is going through therapy and rehab. So hopefully that will remove some of the pall that the Flash movie has gained.
CD said guns going scorched earth.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, he did say, there were a lot of people that were concerned also about Shazam 2 and Black Adam.
I'm concerned about Shazam because I love the Shazam movie. And,
me too.
And I love Zachary Levi as Shazam.
Right. Now, the thing about it is that he hasn't said yay or nay about continuing on with the Shazam movies. Now, my guess is if Shazam 2 is a big success, they'll probably push forward, because
it wasn't really
Shazam,
tied to Snyder.
It really wasn't tied very closely. I mean, they had a few, they talked about this, other superheroes, about Batman and, whatever. And Superman, of course, sort of showed up in the post-credit credit thing, and Batman and Wonder Woman and stuff like that. But they never really, it was very loosely tied. So they could put that in with the DC universe, the new DC universe. That could be something that carries over, because it was also very light. It wasn't very Snydery at all.
No, it was much more Gunn-esque than it was Snyder.
Sure, absolutely. Now, the Black Adam movie, on the other hand,
which is now on HBO,
and I was going to say, it's HBO Max's #1 movie amid the DC shakeup.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to watch. I'll get to watch that this weekend.
It is doing extremely well on the streaming app, and it hasn't been released on Blu-ray yet. It's coming to Blu-ray at the beginning of January. But the film is currently top of HBO Max's movie chart after arriving on the streamer on December 16th, just 57 days from the film's theatrical release on October 21st. The movie, of course, stars Dwayne Johnson as the titular anti-hero and introduces the Justice Society of America. Now, they could continue to move forward with those characters. This is not a very Snydery movie either. It is a little on the dark side, considering, so to speak, considering that it is Black Adam, and it does have Henry Cavill as everybody knows now, in the post-credit scene, as Superman, and it was a great thing, and everybody freaked out, and it was like, oh my God, we're going to see, and that was the thing that basically announced Cavill was coming back into the Cape. Now, it says, the future of the franchise is in doubt, as Black Adam's chances of getting a sequel are reportedly low. Plenty of excitement is also stirred up over the Black Adam post-credit scene, which featured Henry Cavill as Superman. Cavill then announced his return to the character on Instagram, but just months later revealed he wouldn't be back as the hero after all. Instead, Gunn is writing a new Superman movie that will focus on a younger incarnation of the character, hence the recasting. Now, Cavill did have a meeting with James Gunn and left saying, everything was friendly. And even Cavill, said, hey, I understand. They want to go younger.
Well, no, and he didn't even say that. He just said they're building a new universe.
Yeah. So, and I can kind of understand it too. I mean, Henry Cavill is still a young man, but he's pushing 40 now. And if they really want to go with a much younger Superman, maybe a younger person would be a good idea. If they want to go with this, a Kal-El in his early 20s or late 20s, it might be a good idea to go with a new casting. I personally would have loved to see Cavill continue in the Cape. I think he deserved more time. I think he was a great Superman. And honestly, as somebody who met him personally, super nice guy. I would have liked to have seen him, and a big nerd. I would have liked to have seen him continue.
King of the nerds.
Really. Particularly seeing what he did with The Witcher as well. Now it has been announced that he is spearheading a Warhammer 40,000 television show for Amazon Prime. Okay, we'll see what they do with that. That could be cool. If he's gonna be an executive producer as well as an actor on that show, it's probably going to stick close to the source material. And that was the reason why he backed away from The Witcher, is that they wanted to diverge from the source material.
Yep.
Or at least
well, they
diverge
were
too far away from
diverging
it.
so much from the source material. They had gotten
And
so far away from it that.
So he filmed third season. They did the third season, and then they're going to move on to somebody else. Wonder Woman 3 has also been canceled, and Jason Momoa may not return as Aquaman after the upcoming sequel, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Matt Reeves' The Batman universe is safe, though, with Gunn and Reeves both denying a report that Pattinson's Dark Knight will be joining the mainline DCU. They are still saying that Pattinson's Batman will be separate from any kind of Batman that James Gunn writes in any future films. Also, it was revealed today. Dwayne Johnson he broke his silence about all of this and said that he did have a meeting with James Gunn, and Black Adam will not be a part of at least the first chapter of the new DC cinematic universe that James Gunn is creating. But he did say that he was looking forward to potentially, I don't have the tweet in front of me, but he did say that he was looking forward to potentially moving forward in the future. He did say that he was very proud of what he had created. It was 15 years he worked on creating the Black Adam movie. It was very proud of what he had made. Personally, it was a fun movie. It was fun. I think I liked Shazam better, but it was a fun movie, and I think Chris, you'll probably feel the same way. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can find that tweet that Dwayne Johnson made. But we're just going to have to be patient with James Gunn, guys. We got a new guy in charge, and he is a big comic fan. He's so far he's been fairly respectful of the source material. His Suicide Squad was pretty great.
I really enjoyed the Suicide Squad movie. Thought that was actually really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And I think
and then we got Peacemaker out of that too.
Correct.
Which I still have to finish. That's another one that I have to go back and finish. I've only watched like the first 2 episodes of Peacemaker.
Oh man, so good, so much fun. And they already did announce that they're going to move forward before he even took over, before all this stuff, that they're going to move forward with a Peacemaker 2 and a season 2. There were some people that were afraid that they're like, oh my God, if he's going to recast everybody, they're going to get rid of John Cena. I doubt it. It's a very workable and
it's a surgical. It's going to be a surgical strike on what they get rid of.
Right. They're not going to get rid of John Cena. They're not going to get rid of a lot of that stuff. I'd be surprised. I bet you if they continue on with Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn making appearances in the DCU, I'd be surprised if they stick with Margot Robbie. She did a good job. She plays the character well, and that aspect of the DC cinematic universe was not tightly tied into Zack Snyder's vision.
Mm-hmm.
Zack Snyder's vision was largely Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League.
Yep.
Those 3 movies right there. Anything tied in with those directly, I didn't say Wonder Woman too, but Wonder Woman, I don't know. The first Wonder Woman film, and even the second one, it was a bit Snyderish, but they could probably have continued on with Gal Gadot, but it's also been said that Gal Gadot won't be returning as Wonder Woman either.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The tweet I found it says, "My passionate friends, I wanted to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DCU. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I will always root for DC and Marvel to win and win big. You guys know me, and I have very thick skin, and you can always count on me to be direct with my words. These decisions made by James and DC leadership represent their vision of DCU through their creative lens. After 15 years of relentless hard work to finally make Black Adam, I'm very proud of the film we've delivered for fans worldwide. I will always look back on the fan reaction to Black Adam with tremendous gratitude, humility, and love. We did great. To my very passionate and vocal Black Adam / superhero genre fans, I love you. Thank you. And I will always listen to you and do my best to deliver and entertain you. What a hell of a month. Now we all need some Terramana, whatever that is. Have a productive week and a happy holidays to you and your families. DJ. I like Dwayne Johnson. Okay. You know, if he's okay with that, then so am I.
Terramana?
Terramana.
It's a tequila.
Ah.
Terramana tequila.
Must be his tequila. So yeah. I'm in a very much kind of wait and see kind of mode when it comes to this situation. I have a lot of faith in James Gunn. I think that he's going to be fine. He's going to be all right. But it's also, you know, there's a lot to see.
Yep, that's his tequila. I just pulled up the website and he's all over it, like out with the guys in the fields pouring tequila and.
Okay.
Terramana small batch tequila.
Alrighty. James Gunn has said that he intends to include lesser known characters in his new DC cinematic universe. So that's cool. We could see Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. We could see, well, there is the Blue Beetle movie. They have said that they are moving forward with that. We could see Mr. Terrific. We could see Stargirl. Hopefully we'll see some more of the Justice Society characters. Lobo. There is still rumored that Jason Momoa will be recast as Lobo. Let's bring out some of these other characters, Dr. Fate and Wildcat, and I don't know. There's a slew of amazing characters that we could see, we could use, you know.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I still got to finish season 3 of Titans and watch season 4.
Me too. I got to go back.
But that's one I'm not just waiting on Renee and I. We're waiting on Alexandra too, because we were watching those with her. We've been doing that since the beginning because she's a huge Titans fan. Especially, she's a huge Robin and really Bat family. Not so much Batman, but the rest of the Bat family. She's a big fan of Dick Grayson and Jason Todd specifically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Very cool. I mean, yeah, it was funny when you mentioned that about how Alexandra is like a huge Robin fan, and I was like, all right. I mean, okay. I've met a lot of. I mean, I like Robin. I like, you know, I've met a lot of Batman fans. I just don't think. I mean, the last time I couldn't tell you the last time I met an actual huge fan of just Robin. So, but okay.
All right. Do we want to get into some of these lists?
Yeah, let's get into a couple of these lists before.
All right. So these are from the Nerdist. The first one we'll do here is the best TV shows of 2022.
Okay.
The first one on the list. These aren't in any necessarily any order, but the first one that they have is The Rings of Power, streaming on Prime. So they tell where you can find them too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just finished that. I thought it was good. It wasn't spectacular. I mean, they're basically running with they're creating stories from little tiny bits of information that were in the appendices of the Lord of the Rings books.
Right.
Because a lot of these characters, I guess from what I was reading, a lot of the characters that are in there are they're actually, some of them are found in the I forget what it's called, like the Unknown Tales or something like that, or Untold Stories. Anyway, it's a set of stories that he never finished, that are all based in the Second Age, and I guess Prime doesn't actually have access to those though. They can't technically use anything in those. So all they can use is what is found in the appendices of the Lord of the Rings books.
Okay.
So that's what they're basing all of this on. So it's interesting to see how they do it and where they're going with it. But overall, I thought it was an entertaining show, and I did enjoy it.
Cool.
Yeah, no Silmarillion. But yeah, so overall, I thought it was entertaining, kind of cool. Seeing some stuff with Numenor and things like that, and it was kind of cool. The second one is Andor, is streaming on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's another one I got to finish up. Yeah,
I believe it's actually on Hulu now too.
It is, I think, for a limited time.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a really good, really well done show. It's not the Mandalorian. It doesn't have the action of the Mandalorian. It is much more of a story-driven show, much more of that spy thriller type of thing. But yeah, I really did enjoy Andor. I thought they did a great job. They introduced some characters that you want to know more about. And of course, they introduced a new droid, the emo, was it B emo, or something like that, the BEMO EM0. Yeah. The next one on the list, another one streaming on Prime, The Boys Season 3.
Nice. Yeah.
Which that was spectacular. I thought that was really good. That's still a great show. Still pushing that envelope of the ew factor quite a bit. But another one that I really did definitely enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. The Boys is, God, it's so fucking good. It's really fucking good.
The next one they actually just kind of grouped together, and that was the MCU TV shows of She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Ms. Marvel.
Well, I mean, various people will probably argue about that, but there's still, all three of those were quality. Some better than others.
Of those, I think Moon Knight was the weakest.
I would have to agree, actually. I think Moon Knight was the weakest of the three. It was still good and it was still entertaining, but it was the weakest of the three. I think She-Hulk was my favorite.
Yeah.
Followed by Ms. Marvel. And it still bothers me that She-Hulk got such a disparate kind of review on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like 85% from the critics and 33% from the audience. And I think a lot of it comes down to, review bombing. I think that it's just bullshit.
CD's still a hater. You see, they had to group them all together to even get it on the list. And even then it's bad.
Oh man, CD.
This one I have to completely agree with. Streaming on Paramount Plus, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the best TV shows that's been out in a long time. I truly enjoyed that show. No, CD, I don't think they grouped any of the others together. But yeah, I think Anson Mount is amazing as Christopher Pike. He is extremely personable, and I love the way that he's playing the character, and I really did enjoy that show. And I also like the way that, while it is made in a time when we have much better effects, that they tried to still make things look like they did in the original Star Trek.
Yeah,
I liked how they did that, which is one of the things they didn't do in Discovery, because
it's an homage.
Yeah,
it's very much an homage. They did a great job. Yeah,
but yeah, I think everybody on that show is great.
With Disco, they very much tried to kind of write it off by saying, "Oh no, well, it's a science ship and it's experimental and it's all this stuff," and that's how they were able to get away with making uniforms and things look different, and do the whole like the holographic displays and stuff like that. Which I buy it, but and the fact that how Chris Pike was like, no, not Christopher Pike, yeah, he was all like, I don't like that holographic display. I want everything back on screens, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to a ghost. That was some funny shit. I liked that. That was funny.
He's got some bones aspects to him.
He really does. He really does. But yes, it was like a lot of fun, and God, Strange New Worlds was what was the breath of fresh air we needed in Star Trek.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Discovery's got its Discovery's got its own thing. It's got its own like flavor and its own kind of element now, and I like it.
I still watch it, but I don't care for Discovery a whole lot. It's still because I still think Michael is one of the most unlikable main characters of any show I've ever watched.
She's not my favorite character on the show, I gotta admit, but I do like a lot of the other characters, and
I like some of the other characters. Like they could get rid of Michael, and I would probably enjoy the show more.
I like Saru.
I like Saru.
I think if they had kept him as captain, I think that would have been a stronger kind of thing. But I still think they wanted up the first black female captain. I think they wanted to do that. So okay, fine. I like the Doctor.
I like the relationship between the Doctor and the engineer. Between their relationship, and then especially with them bringing in Gray as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I also like Jet Reno. She's hilarious.
Reno was supposed to be a one-shot character, and people loved her so much that they had to keep her because she was that character they needed.
Yes, agreed. So
that basic, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to say what I want to say.
Well, it's funny because like in a lot of the Star Trek shows, there's one character that comes along that ultimately ends up like just giving it that extra twist that it needs. For Voyager, it was 7 of 9. They injected they wanted to initially just to inject some sex appeal, and then 7 of 9 became a really fucking awesome character. And then on DS9, Worf coming onto the show really injected that extra thing on that show.
Renee just did I don't care, I'm on drugs. That's one of Reno's lines.
Oh,
yeah. From last season. I don't care, I'm on drugs.
Yeah. And then of course, the Lower Decks, man. I just started watching the new season last night. I watched
that one's not on the list, but that I think belongs up there too. I think their latest season was fantastic too.
It is.
So the next one on the list though is Stranger Things season 4, and I have to agree I think it was a great season, really well done. I really enjoyed it. Might be my favorite season to date.
Haven't watched it yet, but it is on the books. Getting ready. Looking forward to it.
I don't remember their names now. Robin and Steve. Who their relationship, people are saying they want a spin-off show where it's just Robin and Steve, and at the beginning of every episode, they're starting a new job somewhere.
That's cute. That's funny. Oh, speaking of Star Trek, go back to Star Trek real quick. I did see a rumor that a show based on the Borg is being developed.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to do that,
isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, if you watch Picard season 2, we do see a dramatic change to the Borg.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well there is
that's one that I haven't started. So
good, man. I mean, Picard was so much fun.
The next one on the list is Peacemaker.
Absolutely.
On HBO Max.
Absolutely.
Ton
of fun. Really?
Although ridiculous on the surface, this absurd show lures you in with its less than lovable lead.
Yep.
And then the next one is Our Flag Means Death on
Another
HBO.
good one. Yeah.
I'm not getting into it. We got like 2 or 3 episodes left, and Renee brings it up to watch it. She's like, "Well, you want to watch that?" I'm like, "Nah."
I haven't finished it either. I kind of was doing it little piece by piece. It's not one of those shows I get excited for, but every time I sat down to watch it, I've laughed my butt off.
I've rarely laughed when I watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a great deal.
And then this one I've never seen because it's on Apple TV, and that's Severance.
No, I haven't seen it either.
So yeah, I don't know about that one, but those are the ones that they came out with as saying that were the best for that.
Okay. Didn't you have another list that said the best movies of the year?
Yes, this is the Nerdist also did that was 1 week, and then the following week they did the Nerdist best movies of 2022. And for that one, the first one on the list is The Batman, which I thought that was okay. I didn't think it was fantastic. I thought it was all right. It wasn't horrible.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it.
I will say that, yes, I liked it better than I thought when I saw the casting and the way that they were portraying him, and I wasn't sure about emo Batman or My Chemical Batman. And that was what I wasn't sure about. But it turned out okay. There is talk that he may continue in the Gunn universe. But there's a chance that Gunn's going to keep him around. The second one is one I haven't seen. It's Turning Red, the Pixar movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet either, but I heard it's
I've heard
really
good things.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one I haven't seen. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I actually bought it. I bought it on sale, and I've heard it's really, really good and like just incredible.
I mean, the picture is Michelle Yeoh with the googly eye stuck in her forehead.
It's about multiverse and stuff. I guess it's a multiversal kind of.
Yeah, after the movie, where a farting corpse is someone's best friend, I was willing to go with the Daniels anywhere they wanted to go.
After a movie where the farting corpse is your best friend?
Yeah, it says after the movie where a farting corpse is someone's best friend, I was willing to go with the Daniels anywhere they wanted to go. Turns out where they wanted to go was the multiverse. I guess it's whatever movie they did before.
Oh, that might have been the one with Daniel Radcliffe where he played like the dead body or something like that.
Daniel Radcliffe's penis saves the day in Swiss Army Man.
Right.
So,
all right.
I clicked on the tab to see what it was. The next one is X/Pearl. I don't know this one. Either of these movies from Ty West, X, which came out in March, and Pearl, which came out in September, would have made a short list of movies we liked. However, the fact that they both came out in the same year and act as a fascinating exploration of similar themes in completely different ways makes the whole experience of one of 2022's best.
I think they're horror movies.
X is a slick slasher set in the early heyday of porn against the backdrop of homicidal backwoods olds.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl backs all the way up to the 1910s and explores how the titular old from X got to be the way she is. Scary, funny, wildly touching, and with 3 tour de force performances from Mia Goth, who's what's not to love. I don't even remember hearing about those.
Yeah, I heard something about them. I heard they were good. I heard it overall they were pretty good.
The next one is one that I really wanted to see in the theaters, didn't get a chance to, and it comes to Paramount Plus next month, and that's Maverick. Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I heard really good things about it. I heard it was fantastic. I heard that it was definitely one kind of wanted to see on a big screen. My TV is a big screen, so as
Yeah.
long as I sit close enough, it's like being at the movies. But yeah, that's one I definitely want to see. I mean, I'm not a big Tom Cruise guy, but I do want to see that because I heard that they treated the whole Val Kilmer thing really well, and that
I heard
they
so
really
too.
did like pay homage to him. And
I mean, I'm interested to see it just because, you know, Top Gun was such a phenomenon from when we were kids, and
mm-hmm.
and and I mean, there's a reason why this movie did very well. I mean, Top Gun was one of the top grossing movies of the year, one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Apparently, it's way up there. It's up there, you know, within shooting distance of Avengers and Endgame and Titanic and all these some of these big movies and Avatar. Um, I was like, I'll wait until it comes to a streaming service or something. So I'm sure I'll watch it on Paramount. Oh, that was something else I noticed. You can get the Paramount app on the PlayStation Network now.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you can get the Paramount app on your PS5. I had to do it on my TV. My TV didn't like it. But now it is. I can watch the Paramount. I can watch all my Paramount Plus goodness on my PlayStation.
that's cool. I'm actually looking it up right now. Top Gun was the highest grossing domestic film of 1986. Blah, blah, blah. And it got re-released on IMAX 3D in 2013.
Remember that, yeah.
But yeah, it's it says that it grossed 357 million globally with a budget of 15 million. Doesn't actually say how much it's made to date here, and I'm not going to.
No, but the new one has done.
Like,
extremely well.
Yeah, it's 662 million.
Yeah, that's really fucking great. You know, I mean, holy shit.
They said its sales passed Titanic for all-time domestic box office.
Yeah,
that's what it was. It's done 662 million domestically.
Yeah, which means it's over $1 billion then worldwide. For sure.
Yeah, become the 7th highest grossing movie of all time in U.S. theaters.
That's amazing. That's saying something.
Oh, that's on Fortune, which they won't let you get until they got a paywall.
What's next? What's the next movie?
The next one is Nope.
It's another one I haven't seen, and it is also on, I think, either the Peacock or Paramount.
It's Universal Pictures, so
yeah, the Peacock.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of Jordan Peele's horror movies. I'm not a big horror guy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge horror guy, but I do have an appreciation for it. And Jordan Peele's horror movies have been pretty good. Get Out was fucking great.
Was it? I've heard really good things. I've heard he's the new he's the new horror guy. He is that his movies.
Well, he's got
really
he's got a very different take on it. He also produced the new. I think he was a co-producer on the new Candyman, and he did this. He did Us or something like that. I think it was, and then Nope, and Get Out, and I didn't see the second one that he made, but I bought Get Out. It's really good. It's really fucking good. And then this new one, Nope, I heard it was great. It's his horror take on alien abduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one is Prey, which is the
it's on Hulu. The Predator movie.
Yeah, the Predator movie back in is it Native American times?
No, prehistoric times.
Indigenous, back in the indigenous people. 17. No, it's not prehistoric. It's 1719.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. I thought it was.
Prey takes us back to 1719, where an indigenous youth has to fend off an alien hunter who's way overpowered for the time period.
Yeah, dude. CD. Honestly, I mean, I put the PlayStation app on, the Paramount app on my PlayStation. It's way better on the PlayStation Network than it was getting it through my smart TV. definitely give it another try on the PlayStation Network. For real.
The next one was one I actually kind of wanted to see. It looked really good. The Woman King.
Oh yeah.
Which is the one about the African basically woman who becomes king.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I'll watch that on streaming.
Well, yeah,
and
but
CD just I mean, I really liked Get Out. I thought it was cool. It was a little like, there was a lot of racial kind of like stuff about it, but I thought it was scary as fuck. I liked it. So anyway, you were saying, Chris.
But yeah, then the next one is Barbarian, which I don't recognize.
Yeah, I saw something about that.
It's on HBO, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's another like it's a bar. Yeah, it's a young woman discovers the rental home she booked is already occupied by a stranger. Against her better judgment, she decides to spend the night, but soon discovers there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house guest. No idea. That sounds pretty. It says primarily takes place on Barbary Street, a fictional rundown road in the Detroit ghetto. So that's right. It's supposed to take place in Detroit.
So in Barbarian, they're saying that it's on HBO now, so you should be able to watch it. But we still won't spoil too much here. Suffice it to say, this movie is truly buck wild and both scary and gory to the max, and full of hilarious social satire.
All right, I'll have to put that one on the list.
The next one is a Netflix film, an animated film, Wendell and Wild.
I don't think I know that one.
It's a stop motion animation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's one I'd be all that interested in. The next one is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Really good.
Which I still have not seen. I did not get to the theaters to see it.
Oh, Chris, it's one of those movies that, in all honesty, it was like it was. I don't want to say it was better than Black Panther. It was very good though, and it was different. It was different. It was good. It was different, but in the same way. It just wasn't like Wakanda Forever. I think Black Panther was a little more traditional superhero action movie, whereas Wakanda Forever was it did have a lot of superhero action in it, but it didn't have quite the same like traditional tone. And I think a lot of that came down to, just the fact that, well, they had to get over the fact that their star died.
Yeah. And then the last one on this list.
It's such a good, I really enjoyed it a great deal.
Last one on the list is Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
It's on Netflix, and I don't think that's out yet. I think it's coming to Netflix soon. Like within the next couple of days.
I just got a message saying the internet cable or the internet connection is unstable. So sorry if you guys are seeing anything there. I have been having what I thought were some issues lately. You said I'll watch that only on Netflix. I don't know. I haven't watched the first
HBO with your good content I don't want to pay for.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
Yeah, I haven't watched Knives Out. I've heard really good things about it, but because it's Rian Johnson, I have trouble watching it.
Knives Out was entertaining. Yeah, Stella and I think did we go to the theater to see that? I don't think we went to the theater, but we rented it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to add this to my collection. This was a fun, murder mystery. It was pretty cool.
But yeah, so that's all of the ones that the Nerdist had for TV and movies.
All right. Well, that being said, we should probably wrap things up. It's getting a little later.
We'll talk 2022 Unrolled next week.
The 2022 Unrolled.
Yeah, that's the
the
D&D stuff from D&D Beyond.
So real quick before we go, I did just start playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm loving it so far. I played the first like a couple little. I played for like 3-4 hours and went, "Yep, totally buying the expansions." You know, because I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh wait, I'm gonna really good time, a lot of fun."
I played it
And
and then got bored.
really,
Yeah.
God, with all of the Germanic things, I would think that you and Renee would be down, man. Particularly Renee.
I don't think Renee's even started that one.
I think you got to give it some time, man. You give it a little time, and you get into like the. I just started the part where you start to build up your own like uh, uh little village and stuff, and it's really fucking cool. The Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, the big DCU miniseries that stretched out from the summer ends. The final issue comes out. Well, came out today. So tomorrow being comic book day, probably getting it. They're saying it is leading the way to a bright and positive, lighter tone for the DCU. We're talking the comic books here, but you know that comic books, the movies take their cues from the comics, at least on some level. So I'm going to be getting that tomorrow, and I'll probably do a little bit of reviewing about it on the show. Excited to see the end of that. Guys, don't forget to check us out on all the places you can find quality podcasting. We are on all the places. It's been a hell of a 22. We got one more show left. Is it one more show? Yeah,
one more show
left
this year,
in 22. Yep. And then it'll be 2023, and you know, we're only two more years away from a quarter through the 21st century.
Yep.
Holy shit.
I remember the whole
shit.
The Millennium Scare. The everything's gonna stop working. Computers are gonna think it's 1900. Okay.
Well, Chris, I mean, that's the thing. You and I, as long as we don't fuck anything up, and as long as the world doesn't fuck itself, we're on track to seeing at the very least halfway through the millennium. Yep. Or halfway not through the millennium, halfway through the century.
Yep.
You know, I mean, and they do say that by the time we are close to 100 years old, the lifespan will actually be a lot longer. It'll be closer to like 120.
As long as I'm functional.
Hey, you know what? Put me in a robot body. I'll be all
right. Give me attachments, man.
Yeah. I want bionics. Go ahead. Replace my organs, replace my limbs. I'll be fine. I'll walk around. I'll be playing video games with my brain. I'll be all right.
CD said maybe I'll make it to 2100.
If any of us is going to make it there, it'll be CD. Out of the three of us.
Yeah.
Just from pure spite.
But yeah, so remember, you can follow us on most of the social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show. We're on Twitter for now, but there's now Musk is saying that he's going to kick off anybody that only uses it to promote other media platforms, and that's really all we use Twitter for. So so we'll see.
I have my own Twitter now, and it's a lot of porn on it. It's just like, holy shit. I followed like half a dozen porn stars, and now like my feed is almost all just shit from their fucking Twitter feeds, because they post a lot, and it's just like, whoa. Did not expect that when I opened up Twitter today. And that's the thing. I'm following, like, I follow Dwayne Johnson, and I follow like Steve not Steve Miller. I follow SNL, and I follow like just a lot of celebrities, but so many celebrities are like getting the fuck out. It's just
because it's a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah, it is totally. Yeah, Steve Martin. Sorry, I follow Steve Martin. He's actually really smart. He's got a great. His Twitter feed was really cool. I follow like I said, just a shit ton of fucking celebrities, and yet the ones that come up in my feed most are the porn stars.
Here, join my OnlyFans page.
Yeah. Oh my god, totally. Like, and it's not just porn stars. It's like I follow Ryan Reynolds. I follow Ginny D. I follow Yeah, a bunch of stars. But as I just pulled it up on my computer here, as I scroll through, I'm seeing more stuff from porn stars and stuff. Look, here's James Gunn. Okay. Then and from like some glamour models than I am from any celebrities. It's just kind of funny. So it is definitely becoming quite the dumpster fire. So Twitter, yay. So anyways, are we done? Is that it? Are we good?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right.
I think that happy holidays, everybody.
Yes.
Whatever you celebrate, sure. Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa,
Kwanzaa, Christmas.
Yeah, that's what it is. And Festivus for the rest of
us.
From the rest of yous. But yeah, so whatever you celebrate, if you do celebrate, I hope you have a good time. Stay safe. We'll see you back here next week. Russ and I will be back here. We are off for Tavern Nights this weekend, although I'm getting a lot of people. I've been hearing people going, we should be playing this week. But we are taking this week off. We'll be back on January 6th. So check us out there for that. But Russ and I will be back next week for this show, 8 o'clock on Tuesday. Same bad time, same nerd channel. So
absolutely.
Yep. So I think on that note. Until next time. Sláinte. Kind of average.
I never hear it anymore.
What's that?
I never hear it when you put them together anymore.
All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.